What's going on, good people? Rich here.
School in the building. What's happening?
It's your girl Ray P back on the mic for the one time. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Not much slow motion, man. Back at it again with another episode of the Culture Garden podcast. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We pump faked y'all last week. I ain't even gonna hold you. That was my fault. I said that this was gonna be episode 50. Something told me, because I remember at the very beginning of the pod, we used to do like seasons and all that, and we changed it.
Mhm.
So something told me to just go back and count it. And I definitely had an episode in twice, or we did, should I say. So this is actually episode 49. Next week will be episode 50. So
Yeah.
our bad, or my bad, should I say. I hit you with the pump fake. But shout out to Janelle Monáe. I just want to say that.
I'm in love with her.
I know that's
She's
random,
so dope.
but check your Instagram. That's all I'll say about it. But I just happened to check Instagram before we started recording, and yeah,
She looks
yeah,
amazing.
man, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
shout out to Janelle Monáe, man.
Yeah.
My goodness. Shout out to Rich too, one of our listeners. Rich gets it in on Instagram.
What's up, Rich?
What's good, Rich?
Must be a rich thing.
Yeah.
But I saw
Oh.
on IG he was having a baby. He's having his baby shower was this past weekend. He's having a boy.
All right.
He actually won our Black Panther ticket giveaway.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Rich,
Yeah,
congratulations.
So congrats to him, man. And that's I'll be real, man. That's one of the best things about the pod.
Yeah.
Is not the people who we know and we talk to that support it. We love y'all, man. We really do.
Oh,
Like
yes.
Donovan, Mario,
Yes.
Jordan, everybody that's like hits us up on a constant. But it's really the people we've never met in our lives that we built kind of connections with.
That's it. Christina, K-Rob.
Christina, K-Rob, Rich, Maurice from the Good Sopranos podcast.
Yeah.
Tyler, Mike Boogie.
Yeah.
He gave us the Temptations. Everybody, like we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Anytime we see something going on in y'all lives, we're gonna shout it out because y'all Culture Garden family. We really treat it like that. Thank you for giving us a space to do what we do. Like honestly, coming back every week, commenting, being interactive, we really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Maurice and the Good Earners podcast, they are back for their second season. They're covering season 2 of The Sopranos. They took a little break, but now they're back.
Yes.
Check that out on their feed. Check out their Instagram page. Follow them. They are doing an incredible job breaking down that classic show. We got y'all, the Culture Gardens television feed. Shout out to Ray P. The television head over here. We are doing Succession right now on HBO. Got a few more weeks of that, wrapping that up, and that's the final season. But we are really, really excited to get started on Run the World.
Absolutely.
Season 1, I forget what year it actually released. 2021? Was it 22?
Yeah, had to be 21.
Yeah. Rachel and myself, before there was even a We Got Y'all, we used to talk about that episode by episode. So we're happy to be bringing those text messages and those phone calls to a podcast form. That comes out at the end of May. So we'll have an episode out that week, and I think we're both hyped to get started on that because there's going to be a lot of changes with season 2.
Yeah.
And real quick, man, shout out to Pops, man. Shout out to my Pops. Today we're recording is May 10th. It's my Pops' birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man.
Big Rich, man.
Big Rich.
OG Kyron Richardson. So if you've been around since the beginning, my pop transition moved on to glory back in April of 2020. And, grief is one of those funny things, and it's everybody's going to experience, but you process it and deal with it differently. And it's been a little bit over 3 years. And, like I said, April was the 3-year anniversary. And I usually find myself like in a funk around that time. And I kind of been like in and out of it, not all the way down, but just one of those things for the past few weeks. And I woke up this morning and I just know it's my Pop's energy. Like I felt great.
Yeah, that's him.
Like I've been feeling good all day, like for real. Like and everything's been straight. Like it was like night and day.
Yep.
Like,
I love that.
Went to bed one way and woke up another, and I've been geeked. I know y'all just said it before. Like I'm just, kind of got that bounce back in my steps. So
I see it.
Yeah, man, and it feels good. My Pops was an incredible man. And everything, I've said it before, my love of movies, the reason I'm a movie, not just like movies, I'm talking about the reason I dig into movies is because of my Pops and the stuff that he introduced me to and the movies he got to experience live in the theater. The times we went to the movie theater, the times we sat down and watched stuff. Like my Pops, and his genres, his palette was far and wide. Like Pops would, I remember I was 13 when Toy Story 2 came out. And I think I was 8 when the original came, and I loved it. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was 13, a little bit too old to be kind of going. But Pops was like, let's go see Toy Story 2. Like one of his favorite movies was The Incredibles.
Yep.
Like he loves Once Upon a Time,
I
movies.
was gonna bring that up. I started watching Once Upon a Time because you told me like
that's one of his favorite shows.
Oh wow!
I'm watching it. I'm in season 4, and it's like the fables and the Disney character. It's so dope. Like that show's dope. Like every episode is a cliffhanger. It's dope.
Yeah,
it's dope.
Anything like any genre. So I'm not even that wide of a palate as he had. So I say all that to say today is a day like I just want to celebrate it. Like my pops never had a chance to really like see us in this podcast form. School, you know what it is. You know he would have been proud of you. Rachel, I know for a fact he would have loved you.
Yes.
Like he would have loved you. He would have had notes every episode.
The dads typically do.
Yeah. like for real, my pops at the last season of Game of Thrones, he was so upset with it that he started rewriting it.
Yep.
Like I still have his notes.
You saying that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how into film and movies he is. He was just like he loved escaping that world. And it's just like I said, I get it from him. Wow, and I just want to shout him out. And I think it's telling. Next week is our 50th episode, and the movie that we're doing, him and I went to the theaters together to see it.
Okay.
It just means a ton to me. So you guys will know what that is next week. But happy birthday, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Love
happy
you,
birthday.
Shout you out.
OG.
Now, before we get into today's episode, there will be spoilers. We always joke and laugh about it coming out. You know, this movie came out in 2009, so you should have seen it.
Yeah.
But this is one of those movies where if you haven't, any spoilers will really ruin it for you. So I'm like, please, if you haven't seen this movie, stop, go watch it, then come back and listen to us. And there will be explicit content. Today's film, if you haven't already checked the title, will be Law Abiding Citizen. The synopsis is a frustrated man decides to take justice into his own hands after a plea bargain sets one of his family killers free. Rachel, for those who don't know, we rotate films. This is Rachel's choice. What made you want to choose this movie?
Number one, just because of everything surrounding Jamie Foxx right now. I just want to lift him up in prayer and send some light his way. So I wanted to highlight a Jamie Foxx movie.
Absolutely.
And just a serious role, because we know that he's a comedic genius. We know he can do all things. But I do think that this role really stretched him and sort of prepared him for other things. So, and I fucking love this movie. And I also am a Gerard Butler fan. So I was like, this is perfect.
Absolutely. Perfect choice. I know we had there's so many good performances by Jamie Foxx, and we could have picked a few of them. And Ray was that's one of the highlights. We bounced that around, but we're probably going to save that one.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Yeah, personally, one of my favorites is Any Given Sunday. We'll obviously save that for one of the football seasons, but Jamie's, that was like his coming out party to everybody.
Yeah, you with De Niro, Oliver Stone, like, come on, man.
Pacino.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pacino.
Shout out to
De Niro.
Shout out to De Niro though, because he's having another baby, man.
He's having a baby at 79 with one of these sisters, I'm sure.
Crazy.
He loves him a Ray P.
They are.
Before we get into our first experiences, I'm going to go through some stats, but I do want to emphasize, I know School wants to do the same. Prayers up for Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been off social media on my personal page for a while, and it's funny how different the internet is from real life. Like, hopefully everybody stops speculating, stops badgering about what's going on. Give that family some respect, some time. We don't know. We know he's still with us. All you can do is send positive energy.
That's it.
And that's the only thing that should concern anybody. I'm like all the speculation and all that. Nah. So we love Jamie. He's one of those people, when I started thinking, he's been famous as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as you get
older,
you
and different levels. At one point, he was just black famous. Like,
100%.
And then, man, he took off.
Jamie Foxx show,
I also want to go back a little bit when you was talking about Pops. Like, my palette is crazy because of that. And Gerard Butler's in this movie, and one of my hidden movies that I'll be sneaking and watching is Bounty Hunter.
Of course you do, because it got a Razzie.
Yeah, man. Bounty Hunter. It was awful. It's my shit, man.
I thought you were gonna say The Ugly Truth.
Oh no. No.
The Bounty Hunter was nominated for a Razzie. Something about School, if y'all know, he loves bad movies. Like he loves terrible trash ass movies. Like he has a special niche for him. Yeah. There's a lot of movies I'd have never even thought about watching if it wasn't for him. Hey. And I like him too, but not to that degree. But he don't like Soul Plane, which is nuts.
Nah, I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with
watching Bounty Hunter, but you ain't.
I'm watching the Bounty Hunter.
We ain't going there. All right, let's get into these stats.
All right, come on.
The film was released October 16th, 2009. Directed by F. Gary Gray. I think this is the second film that we've covered of his. We did set it off. He also directed Friday, famously. The Negotiator, which is another vigilante movie that I love. The Italian Job, a huge box office success. And Straight Outta Compton. It was written by Kurt Wimmer. Budget of an estimated $50 million, made $127.9 million worldwide. Sheesh. This film rated higher than 300 from the audience test scores before it was released. And 300 was one of those you had to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Back in 2006 when that dropped, that was like the big thing. Sort of like Gladiator was back when it dropped. But this rated higher. I think this was a 95 and 300 was a 93. And it is currently streaming on HBO Max. So if you have HBO Max, you can check this out. We can only call that for a couple more weeks because it's turning to Max.
It's Max.
As far as awards go, it didn't really win anything significant. It was nominated for 2 NAACP Image Awards. Jamie Foxx for Outstanding Actor and F. Gary Gray for Outstanding Directing. As far as the cast goes, we have Jamie Foxx as Nick Rice, Gerard Butler as Clyde Shelton, Regina Hall as Kelly Rice, Viola Davis as the mayor, and that's what she's titled in the movie, the mayor. She doesn't have a name. Leslie Bibb as Sarah Lau, Bruce McGill as Jonas Cantrell, and I just want to shout out Bruce McGill. Because I think everybody has their own favorite character actors. Like that person that you know is never going to be a lead in a film, but they show up and do this. They do their thing every time they're on screen. And he's been around. Scene Stiller. He's been around for a long time. He was a lieutenant in school's favorite buddy cop movie, Ride Along. He's been in Obsessed. He's been in Collateral, another movie with Jamie Foxx, Runaway Jury, Ali. He actually died in The Last Boy Scout the same way he died in this movie, which is kind of crazy.
That's
but
my shit too.
He's been in a lot of stuff, and he's expanded out throughout the career. It's hard to make a career when you were not a leading man or a leading woman.
Side note, I went to get my hair retwisted. Shout out to T Styles. If you know, you know. Listen, we watched Obsessed when I was in the chair, bro. Yeah. That shit's silly, man.
We gonna do Obsessed one day. We're definitely gonna do Obsessed.
You say you love B?
I do.
Well, we about to find out.
Nah, man, we can't have no Beyonce slander on the podcast. Keep that shit for the comments.
Don't come for Beehive. I'm cool.
Yeah, man. As far as first experience, Rachel, do you remember your first time watching this?
Honestly, I don't. I was really trying to think back. October 2009. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I mean, I had graduated, but I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I saw it on like HBO or something. And I don't recall the very first experience with it, but I remember watching it like repeatedly. So yeah, no, I don't remember the first time I saw it, but I just loved it because it was amazing and action-packed, the thriller, dare I say. And everybody brought their A game. So for sure. Yeah, but no, I don't remember. What about y'all?
Yeah. School.
Well, let me keep it real with y'all. I had a guy. When I was working at when I was working down at Kroger, long story short, I had a guy that, you know, was giving me the DVDs, brother, you know, with the good copy. So yeah,
it's 2009.
2009. That's how I seen it. First copy.
That might be how I saw it.
Yeah. You had the Japanese subs. Anyway, yeah, I seen it. And it was dope. Jamie did his thing, like always. I think I, you know, had a little shorty over or something. This is a good little movie for that. So, you know,
I did it. I'm trying to cut you off before you get yourself in trouble. I don't remember. I'm like, y'all, I do not remember my first time. I do know I did not see it in the theater. I think I would have remembered that with all the stuff that went on here, but I can't ever remember like who got me hip to it or what made me want to watch it, other than, of course, it's Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler. Like I said, in 2009, that's enough for a draw. But it is one of those call them vigilante movies. That listen, everybody loves a good vigilante movie. But you all know how they're going to end. They're kind of the same thing, even though you don't care. You don't mind that because you signed up for it. This is one that has things that I don't think I had seen before. And I remember just shocking moments watching it, like, oh, shit, like jumping out, like, oh, damn, I can't believe that just happened. And I think that's what separates this. You know, like I said, vigilante movies are always going to reign supreme. That's why they made 3 Takens. That's where they're coming out with Equalizer 3. That's why they just had John Wick 4. Those movies aren't going anywhere. If you give me a rom-com, vigilante, I'm trying to think, a good suspense movie, like I'm signing up for it every single time. So it's one of those films.
It's always good to have that gray area. Like at first you're on their side, then it's you like
Bank Heist,
all that.
Bank Heist, those type of movies. That's right, So they set the tone early. You know what you get, and you don't want to nitpick it too much because of course some of it's ridiculous. Yeah, but the older I get, the less I find myself saying that's crazy.
That is true.
I've seen enough in life to know that some of this shit is possible. The feeling, you know what? When we get towards the end of this film and, you know, they're locking down the city, kids aren't going to school. That reminded me of the DC Sniper. That was the first time I think in my adult life. And granted, we've lived through 9/11 and everything else, but we were 14, you were 12. Yeah. The DC Sniper was the first time I was like, oh, shit, they crazy out here. Because I was out here as an adult in these streets. And it kind of reminded me of that. Like, these people exist, and this is a real thing. And when these people have vendettas and they have a very specific skill set, and they want to use it for evil, they can. And it's not all the way far off. Like I said, it's a little bit preposterous. It's not all the way far off. So also love this movie. One more thing I want to add in is shout out to Jamie, because longevity in any field is a difficult thing. And I'm bringing this up, and this isn't no shade to Gerard Butler, but one of the fascinating things with me is when somebody's their most famous. You know what I mean? Like, when is this person the most famous they've been? And for Gerard Butler, I think from 2006 to 2010, he was probably the most. That was the peak of his career. Yes. And he's still doing great work. But when you have somebody like Jamie, like once they window open, it just keeps going. And I think you can always, every year you might be able to say this is his most famous. He's just such an icon and a star. So when I see two people who had been certified A-listers, but one has been an A-lister for 20 years and the other for 5 or 6, it just really makes me appreciate those people who have been doing this for a long time.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact. I like that. That's a fact.
I think part of that too is also not being a one-trick pony, you know?
Yes.
I think that Gerard, even though he does have some quote-unquote lighter roles, primarily he's doing the same thing, you know, whereas Jamie has a considerably wider range.
Absolutely. Like if you my mama cried in Just Mercy in the theater.
Oh my God, it was so good.
You know what I mean? I looked over and saw mom's dropping tears. Like that Jamie's range, he was so good in that film and so many others. Have y'all ever seen that movie where he was a cop and T.I. was his partner? It was in Vegas.
You made that up.
No, I promise you.
That's like Sinbad playing.
Keep talking, keep going.
Listen. This man had blame it on the alcohol. That was popping during this movie. So that's another level of Jamie Foxx. Like he can sing his ass off. Like Unpredictable. Come on, man. Let's not talk about it. Incredible. You feel me? Incredible album. Like shit's crazy, man.
Sleepless is the name. It came out in 2017.
I've heard of that. I've never seen it.
Gabrielle Union was his ex-wife. It was waist deep in Vegas.
Okay.
It was waist deep in Vegas. They kidnapped his son. He's trying to get the son back.
It was a good bet. So I probably need to watch
it. Yeah, you definitely fuck with it. Like I said, it got Jamie Foxx and T.I. as cop partners. Like, that's
maybe I have seen this, and T.I. set him up.
Spoiler alert! For sure,
man.
Sorry.
He didn't set him up, but there is a twist with T.I.
But there is I have seen that. I lied. I have seen that.
But there is a twist. But it's still, you didn't say nothing to give it away. You didn't say nothing to give it away. But yeah.
Oh, you know what? That movie is actually low-key good. Now that I'm thinking, now that I've refreshed it in my mind, it's low key good.
It's right up your alley, school. Like I said, those are the type of movies
check it out.
Immediately watching. I know what I'm getting, and it ended exactly how I thought because it had dude from Stranger Things. The guy, the dad,
I know you're talking about. It ain't coming
Eleven's dad. Yeah, but I can't think of his name right now. He's been in some Marvel movies and a bunch of other stuff too.
He was in Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow. So let me ask you guys this. School, you probably know this. Rachel, I'm not sure if you do. When this film was first being, in production, the roles were flipped.
Yes.
So Jamie Foxx was supposed to play Clyde Shelton, and Gerard Butler was supposed to play Nick Rice.
Yeah.
Does that impact the movie at all for you?
I don't want to say yes, but it's gonna make me look at it different a little bit. Like, damn, why they got my guy? Why he got to play the?
Even with how smart let me say this. When I went back and read a lot of the reviews and articles and just fan reaction, I think a lot of people didn't like Nick Rice, the character, not Jamie's performance, but just the character that he just didn't. He was not a throwaway. They didn't really build him up, or he didn't deserve the ending that he got. Like Clyde was the fan favorite. He was the one that everybody wanted to win.
That makes sense.
So knowing that, do you think he still could have? Yeah, I think Jamie's easily likable. Yeah. So I think if this flips, I don't know. That's a good question, and I asked it.
I don't know.
Rachel, what you think?
I'm really sitting here trying to ponder. I don't think I want Jamie as a murderer. He low-key would have bodied it.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm thinking about it, but I do like him as the ADA versus
what was that BT movie? Who was he playing? Stanley. The Crip dude. Remember when?
Gridlocked or not Gridlocked. That was Tupac.
That was Pac, man.
Unlocked. He was playing Tukey Williams.
Yes, he was playing Tukey. Yes, a little bit of that. Yeah, that'd have been nice.
Rachel, I'm gonna tell you who I watched that movie with after we finished recording.
That was a BET joint.
Yeah, I watched it. I'll tell you, Rachel, later. But
Lord,
I don't know who. I don't. Listen, Jamie has enough range to where he could expand both of those characters out. I think Clyde Shelton's character had more to do, which made his character more interesting.
Yeah.
So I think whoever plays that role is going to be looked at. I think Jamie would have taken it to another level. And I think that Nick Rice's character doesn't need Gerard to do anything special.
Yeah. Needs him to be.
Needs him to be him, like just a normal Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of, and that would have been a different look for him.
Yeah.
Can he be a dad? Do we believe you love your wife and your kids?
Well, we believe it when we see Gerard at the very beginning. Like, you guys ever seen Mother's Day by chance?
Yes.
The home invasion one. Yes. I think there's it kind of started like Mother's Day. So that immediately reminded me of that. But it's interesting how they drew those characters because you have Clyde and they immediately, we'll talk about it in the first scenes. But they immediately make you understand why Clyde is doing what he's doing, and you're sympathetic with him. Versus Nick Rice having everything Clyde wanted, and he's just dogging it, which is common. Like you don't know what you got until it's gone, type of thing. But it's very interesting.
It goes into that gray area we talked about, and it makes you wonder too about Clyde.
As far as what?
As far as at the end, does he deserve happiness? You know what I mean? Because if he was a fucking killer anyway, that's what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's go into my next question, which is the ending of this film was originally supposed to be, and there's a lot of stories back and forth. People were saying that Jamie changed the ending. And Gerard Butler's a producer on this film. I don't know if people knew that. But they're saying Jamie changed the ending, but people that worked on the film said that's not true. There were a lot of trying to collective ideas, trying to figure out how these characters should end. And they always knew Clyde was going to die, but it was going to be Jamie killing him with his bare hands in that jail cell, and then him getting arrested and kind of being the new Clyde. And there's a lot of people online that think that was going to be a better story for Clyde because, not Clyde, but for Nick, because he didn't deserve, quote unquote, the happy ending.
Right.
I don't know if I agree with that or not. I think I'm cool with the
I
way
definitely don't.
Yeah, I'm cool with the way it ended.
I'm cool with the way it ended, but there's a lot of traction if you go on the Reddits or things like that. That man, I wish they would have filmed the original ending, but they shot a few different ones because they didn't know what to do, and they didn't know how to kind of justify Nick being the one that gets everything that he wants.
Nick wasn't an awful person. He
was
was a career-driven jackass.
He was doing what a prosecutor who wants to be something besides a prosecutor does. He's reaching for the stars, and this
that
ain't doing that. Like, so I'm gonna get rid of this as quick as I can. He was doing what what you expect,
what people do.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make it right, but it's real.
Yeah.
He did not deserve for a happy life and a happy family. And I'm never advocating.
Yeah. He did what all of us wake up saying that we want to do. We want to do well at our job. We want to get promoted. We want to make as much money and means as possible so we can take care of our family and those we love. Obviously, there's some ego in it. So he wanted to shoot for the stars and have his name out there, but can't be mad at him. Even Jamie Foxx said about his character, like that's because Gerard Butler's from Scotland. He's like, that's the American in me. That's that capitalism. That's that. I got a 96% eviction rate. What you talking about? Kick that away. So I get it. It's very realistic. We've seen these guys plenty of times. Before we get into classic or non-best scenes, I want to play a little game of this or that with y'all. Okay. About vigilante movies. All right. Law-abiding citizen or Taken?
Taken.
Law-abiding citizen.
Law-abiding citizen or Equalizer?
One or two.
Both.
Equalizer 2.
Okay.
Well, Equalizer
2 is really good. I love the ending of Equalizer more than the second one, but I love Equalizer 2, and I love Ashton. I forget his last name, but that actor, I'm a big fan of him. Yeah, and Denzel, of course, is Denzel, and I can't think of my man's name. Is it Pedro or Pablo? I can't think of his name right now. He's in everything. He's a Mandalorian. I'm tripping. I can't think of his name. My bad, y'all. Law-abiding citizen or shooter?
Oh, that's a good one.
Law-abiding citizen.
Okay. Law-abiding citizen or Four Brothers? That is a vigilante movie.
Four Brothers.
I love Four Brothers.
Yeah. Law-abiding citizen or Man on Fire?
Ooh, Man on Fire.
Last one. Law-abiding citizen or Falling Down? Have either one of y'all seen that?
I don't even know what that is. So Law-abiding citizen.
No. Falling Down, 1993, Michael Douglas.
I got that movie. Yeah. I ain't watched it in a minute.
Bro, that movie's so off the chain.
That shit's crazy.
That shit's
and it's critically acclaimed. Like that movie is like
people fuck with that movie.
Fuck with that movie.
Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Brian Purcell. We're doing Succession with him right now. He's the one that got me hip to Falling Down. I remember that was one of them. I don't care what you're doing tonight. Go home and watch this.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Damn. I'm gonna go Falling Down.
I'm going Law-abiding citizen, but I can understand why you're going Falling Down. That movie was off the chain.
Crazy.
That Michael Douglas. I don't know if he was nominated, but he should have won something.
Yeah.
All right. Classic or nah, Ray P?
Relevant. I don't know if I'm calling it a classic.
Okay. School?
I'm gonna say nah.
I'm with Ray P. It's a classic in its genre. Vigilante, that genre is very unique. And if you talk movies in that genre, you have to mention this.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Overall classic, I can't go with it. No.
Yeah.
Love the film. We're watching a million times. Just can't call it a classic. Let's get into some categories, y'all.
Let's do it.
So Rachel and the school are gonna go back and forth. I'm just gonna chime in on their scenes and talk about anything they didn't mention. Rachel, it's your movie. We'll start with you. What's your first scene?
Ooh, ladies first. I'm gonna go Nick telling Clyde that he's cutting a deal. We see instantly who they both are. Yeah. We learn, that Nick is, to our point earlier, trying to make a name for himself, trying to make sure that his conviction rates and all that are high and he's cool. And we see Clyde be broken again and disappointed by that, you know. So we see very early on who they are and what we can expect from them as characters.
Absolutely.
I love it.
You got anything to chime in on with that?
No, you hit the the nail on the head, as they say. I got the I guess I'm gonna jump ahead of you with the opening scene.
Okay.
It shows everything that you're saying, but the dirty deeds of Darby and Amos. I love that you see off rip what kind of criminals you dealing with. Like Darby didn't give a fuck. Like he just off rip, he was doing dirty, ill shit. I don't know if there's any history there or if this was really just random. And it doesn't feel like it because Darby just seems like he just goes in the circle and picks a house and just he seems like that type of criminal.
Can I just say real quick, in 2023, everybody got a ring, and that would never happen. It's just funny how technology changes things.
Yep.
Like certain crimes could probably be avoided if given the time of it. That's my bad.
That's a fact. Nah, that's a fact. And as a father of a little girl, I don't know, bro. Like I'm that's where I'm with Clyde this whole movie. Like I'm with him. So
I have that written down as a scene mainly because like I said, everything that Clyde does now is justifiable just within that first 5 minutes.
Yep.
From a sympathy standpoint, is it fucked up? Absolutely.
Yep.
You shouldn't be free. You shouldn't be doing all this.
Everything?
Not everything. But
okay.
His motive behind it, even
you can understand it.
Even if you disagree, because listen, Clyde went OD.
Yeah.
Clyde went OD, y'all. Like he really did. Yeah. But if you got 10 years to kind of just stew in that, I can understand how it could break you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I can understand.
Absolutely.
It. But yeah, he wasn't justified. Thanks for correcting me.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, kill Nick, kill Darby and Amos, everybody else, like
we wanted to take down the whole system. The whole thing was corrupt.
That's extra.
Which is wild because everybody who's out there moving under that calling, I guess, for lack of better terms, they always think that their reason is the solution.
It's justified.
Like, bro, that's not gonna change shit at all. But go off, Who's got the next scene? Rachel.
Okay, yep. I've got the first interrogation scene with Clyde and Nick. It's a chess match, when we see Nick really did not know what he was getting himself into. That arrogance that we've seen in the first however many minutes leading up to this, we know what kind of guy Nick is.
Yep.
We know Clyde, but we don't know that he is truly a mastermind and technical with this shit and not to be played with. And Nick soon found out.
Yep, straight up.
Hold on real quick. Have y'all ever seen? I know I'm referencing a lot of movies today. Y'all ever seen Fracture with Anthony Hopkins? Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling.
No.
Nope. It came out in 2007. I really love that movie. It gives you similar vibes where there's Anthony Hopkins committed a crime. We know he committed a crime, but they can't prove it. They can't prove it. And Ryan Gosling is kind of he's not a cop, but he's the DA in a sense, and he's the one that's supposed to be. He underestimates Anthony Hopkins' character. So it's kind of wild from that standpoint.
Right.
If y'all watching on YouTube, don't mind that technical error. You know what I mean? It's all good.
My bad, y'all. It's a lot of shit going on over here.
It's all good, man. Rachel committed, man. She on the road potting, man.
Yeah.
Guys, which I usually am, but I just had a lot going on, so I'm nigga rigging work phone and computers. That's for the viewers and listeners. That's not for y'all. I've already told y'all, so it's a lot of shit going on. So somebody must have double called me because I'm gonna do not disturb.
Hey now. But yeah, I just had to shout out Fracture because that reminds me of that. So if y'all ever watch it, you'll kind of get what I'm saying. Or anybody who has seen it, listening, you'll understand what I mean when I say that whole underestimating. Nick really has been the smartest person. That's why he has a 96% conviction rate.
Exactly.
Smartest person in the room.
He even said it. There's a lot of people in jail that thought they were smarter than me.
Yep.
Clyde was.
Yep. Very smart. So smart that the scene that I'm going with is when he catches up with Darby. He sets him up so perfectly, man.
Yeah.
Darby didn't see none of that shit.
None of that coming.
He answered the phone, got the little short. Like, that scene is the epitome of just chilling. Like, Darby was kicking it, bro. He had a little naked little shorty with him. He blowing it down, whatever he had going on. His phone ring. This probably a lick or something. He answered the phone, and it's game. Like, what's up? He giving him the info? Come do this. The police coming. I got you. And he feel like that's his guardian angel. That's what he called him.
Yeah, he ain't got no option.
No,
he saw the cops closing in, so he got to listen to whoever it is.
Yep. And as soon as he figures out who that is, Clyde, and he tries to shoot him, now that's Darby. He was gonna end his life. He knew it. He got hit with the puffer fish. What's it called? Testosterone? Nah, that ain't
not
right.
Testosterone.
That's not that.
Tetrotoxin. Shut up. Pufferfish paralyzed him. You got him so good that it paralyzed him, but he still can feel everything. And he cut this man to shreds, bro.
Absolutely.
Cut that man to shreds.
I just want to chime in on that scene just because everybody loves a smart criminal. Or just
a
smart person in general. But if you're going to do crime, you got to be smart.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can tell he took his time, was very, very prepared. Like, he had been planning this out for years.
10 years.
And knew he was going to go for it. I'm sure he surveyed or had them under surveillance for that long.
Yeah.
And it's very tactical. It wasn't like, it wasn't sloppy revenge. It was very planned and deliberate. And they did a great job of making Darby a character that we wanted that to happen to. We didn't mind that happened to Darby.
Yep. He even gave that man adrenaline, so he would not fall asleep. Like, no, you gonna feel all this,
bro.
All of it.
My man said this is for your penis, but we'll get to that later. Come on, man. Sheezel Pete.
Sheesh. Did him dirty.
Yeah, man.
Cut his eyelids off.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, Pete, what you got?
I'm gonna move on to Clyde's hearing. He was really about to get himself out on bail. That shit was crazy. When you are smart, there's really nothing you can't figure out. When you are smart with a plan and vengeance and anger in your heart, you are pretty much unfucking stoppable, as we can see.
Yep.
With Clyde. I got it in my quotes too. I feed you a few legal precedents. And you jump on it like a bitch in heat. He really was going for it in that fucking courtroom. So that was just one of my favorite scenes.
He went in on that lady, whatever happened to right and wrong, and the people, I bet you take it up the ass, bitch.
The way he said that line, like, it was a personal thing. Like, well, so just wrong. I bet you take it up the ass, bitch. Like, damn, Clyde, you OD.
Because imagine if you got this plan and they about to fuck up your plan because she about to let me out. Like, damn. Bitch, I knew you wasn't gonna let me out. I just killed 2 people.
Yeah, but he knew. He knew he was.
He knew.
That was his point. He did all of that so he can prove, like, this is the reason I'm even doing this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna really let me go. Like, y'all, wow,
flawed ass system.
And that's when they should have. Well, I was gonna say, sometimes you can look at it like, all right, they should have known something was up, but I wouldn't have known anything was up. And the first thing Nick said was like, insanity. That's what you're going for. He might have said that after the jail.
Yes, that
jail
was
killing. Yep. So one of the two. But it's cool. What's your next scene?
The tape. Clyde sent the tape to Nick's house, man. That's dirty. And just so happened, Denise thought she was getting her tape for the recital, and she puts it. She asked her mom, I've been in those situations. Can I play with the tablet? Hold on, I'm busy. Give me a second. Can I play with the tab? Give me it. And then next thing you know, she on the tablet. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I get that. I've been in that situation.
Better hope them browsers closed.
Oh, listen here. That ain't even connected. None of that's connected. But yeah, getting the daughter seeing that video getting cut up. And luckily we live in the day and age where you could say that was a scary movie, blase. She's still young enough to kind of let that pass.
Yeah.
I love that right after, Nick comes in and he's on Clyde, like, my daughter saw a tape today. And he straight up hit him with can you talk to your daughter about good versus evil? Good versus evil, the righteous prospering, the wicked suffering. Like, he had a plan. Like, He felt that he was a good guy, period. I'm doing what's right.
They really believe in their mission.
Yeah.
You can't convince them otherwise.
That's right.
Ray P, what you got next?
I'm going to go Clyde getting his Del Frisco's.
Man.
I know that we have the whole, it may be one of yours, but the initial scene, the negotiation where he gets the bed, you know. But that damn Del Frisco's was the one, just because, first off, this movie has so many little gems, and Clyde had motherfucking bars for your ass. Damn near every scene, he is saying something worthwhile, you know, but the warden, and it is in my quotes, since I'm kind of jumping around, but warden was like, you know, this is a place of the have and have nots. I would hate to be a have in this situation. And we see, you know, he gets his Del Frisco's and the iPod, because it's 2009. Right. He gets his iPod, and, you know, his cellmate is like, nigga, if you don't share,
it's going down.
You. It's going down. We see it didn't quite go that way. But,
right.
But truly, this man is crazy. And why I don't think of unaliving people very often, using a steak bone is not on my list of weaponry, but here we are. Talk about making a way out of no way.
Can I just say, just going back to being tactical, like he has to order a very specific order for that. That's the only way I can get that in here. Yep. And I remember that scene specifically is one where I remember watching this and not even thinking that was going to happen.
Yep.
And it was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, especially if he got the spork. You know, you could go to mention that maybe they give him a steak knife, or maybe they have pre-cut the steak. No.
Yeah. And that was the first time that we knew as viewers that Clyde was willing to sacrifice anybody for his cause.
Yep.
Because up until that point, everybody that died was, you understood it. Like they were in direct connection. Now it's like, I have a plan, and whoever's in the way of that plan getting got.
Yeah.
So that was a very big character shift for Clyde too. Yes. We understood him a little bit more. Like, oh shit.
Because I at that moment, just like you said, they had to prove he killed other people. But that one was like, yeah, he did this.
Yeah.
So,
and just the calm, I need a shower, warden. Like my man laid in the bed. You know how comfortable you got to be to cross your arms behind your head with blood.
This man is insane.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And attached that, I'll just go to my scene real quick because it's attached to that, is Bill Reynolds' death. Like he did all that just to kill Bill Reynolds, and not really kill Bill Reynolds, but he knew what type of system he was dealing with. I know this warden or one of these motherfuckers gonna be cocky, and they are not gonna do it at 1 o'clock like I told them to do.
Yeah,
I can't tell you what time it is, but I know the system. What time is it? And your boy, it's 1 o'clock. We tell them what time it is. The warden. So it's 1:08,
and he knew that. That's a beautiful writing gem. Because how he gonna know what time it is? He in jail.
He
said it to where it don't matter what time it is. This is how much time you got.
This is because we only got so much time, but y'all don't know that. So, man, it was such a good scene. And like you said, when he stabbed him with that porterhouse bone, your boy was talking big shit. You feel me? Said I'll split your whole fucking skull in two. How about that? Like, oh, all right. You don't know who you doing.
Okay.
And that's a great trope where you get the big menacing guy.
Yes.
The guy that don't look like he can be beat up. And man, ended him quickly. Yeah. Terrible way to go. Shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in a movie. Not like that.
No.
Man. And he was violently just That was that scene made this movie originally NC-17 because it was too violent, and it's still violent, but they removed some of the violence and some of the blood, and it became rated R. But just to think about that scene being even more graphic is insane.
Rich, one more time, what was the stabbing like?
Starting a lawnmower and shit.
Fuck y'all. Rachel, what's the next scene?
I'm gonna go to the undercover quote unquote agent telling Nick and Jonas just how dangerous Clyde really is. Because we've seen what he can do, but to understand truly how tactical this motherfucker is.
Michael Kelly. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they had to really step their shit up because they just didn't know, like, yeah, we see that he's done all these things. But to the extent at which he could go, you know, if he wants you dead.
Yeah, listen.
You dead.
They met with the CIA. That was the CIA he was talking to. And the CIA, he was scared. You see how he was looking around? Shout out to Michael Kelly from House of Cards.
Stamper.
Yeah, he's Stamper, Doug Stamper. He's a dog. You hear me? He's that guy you call to get shit done. You feel me?
He's been in a few things.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to chime in, that was everything you just said, Rachel, but he had to meet in private to let you know, like, this ain't no regular dude. Like, if he's in jail, it's because he wants to be in jail.
It's all tactical.
And I just loved how he kept it all the way. I love when people just be transparent and don't hide around the bullshit. Like, if you want this to end, put a bullet in his head. Walk in that cell and drop him.
Yep.
That's the only way this is gonna go down.
Man, when the CIA tell you that they were trying to put somebody down and they couldn't get it done, like, and they call him because his ability is to get it done.
Yeah.
And make it look like it was an accident or dude choked on his tie. Like,
you seen what he was doing?
Sheesh.
You seen what he was doing?
Yes.
Ray P I think the scene's on you, maybe, or is it on you, School?
I can't remember. Oh no, it's on Rachel.
It's on me. I'm sorry, I had a bit of a technical difficulty.
You good?
You guys,
it's all good. Yeah.
Okay, because for whatever reason, now you're done with my AirPods. I am going to go to the mayor scene. I have the scene where they're in the judge's office getting the first or trying to get affidavit or the warrant signed, and then the phone rings because, again, we see how tactical he is. But I want to go to Viola Davis's The Mayor because she like, now wait a minute. What the fuck you mean y'all can't get him? Like, what's happening? He's in jail still committing these external ass crimes. Y'all are telling me that y'all scared of him? Does it smell like bitch in here? Like, what's going on?
Straight up.
You know?
Straight up. She wasn't going.
She wasn't going.
She was not going at all. At fucking all.
Yeah, she couldn't make sense of that. And I love it because that's how it works.
So I'm gonna shout out Viola Davis real quick, of course. So that scene is one that I put in, and it was right around the first time I think I seen Viola Davis, and she had just came off an Oscar nomination. Right? Listen to this. She does her thing, fresh off an Oscar nod for 2 scenes, and one she didn't even speak in. She got an Oscar nod. That's crazy.
And which one? Which movie?
The movie was called Doubt in 2008.
Yeah, with Meryl Streep.
With Meryl Streep. Yes, that's insane. 2 scenes and one she ain't even speaking. She was in it for like 10 seconds. That's how strong her dialogue with Meryl Streep was. She got an Oscar nod, supporting actress.
Viola different, man. She one of them ones. She one of the ones for sure.
That's crazy.
Next scene.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say the judge scene when he got shot. I think when I was doing reading a lot of reviews, people kept saying this is like Saw, but a vigilante version. Like
I can see that.
This is the part where it really was like Saw. If you ever saw any of the Saws, they had like a lot of technical deaths like that, like some shit you just didn't see it coming. And F. Gary Gray talks about this. Like, there was a scene in the movie, he said that when they did the test screen, that he didn't expect people to react the way they did, but they jumped up, and then he said, and then they were talking during the next part. They were just talking about the last scene, and I was like, I know what scene it is. I already know what scene it is. So the scene was it, man.
Yeah, because it wasn't just her dying. It was like I said, this movie was graphic. You just saw that blood splatter, and I couldn't even. That reaction from both of them, from Jamie and or I'll say Nick's character and Jonas, real. Like, and I love how Jonas was like, it was a human thing because that acting was so great. Your human reaction is, oh shit, to go in and try to see, and Jamie's like, hold on, like, you got blown up my cell phone, like, don't go closer. Matter of fact, let's get out. She said, stand down. Like, we get out of here. Yeah. So that natural, once again, showing how smart Nick is and how aware he is. and it's funny because the role was flipped for him later on in the film, because when Jonas ended up passing, he was trying to get to Jonas, and the partner was like, "Hold on, man, nah, like,
you gotta,
this shit is not over." You saw that truck blow up.
Yeah.
Ray P, what you got for the next scene if you have any more?
Okay, I just have a couple, and I kind of want to say that scene specifically, Kyron, the funeral scene, but I gotta go to blowing up all the fucking cars.
Everybody,
like, again, everybody gotta die.
Hey, he was listen. His wife, every time something like. Listen, every time a death or something happened, every time we got to the next level and the next level and the next level, I kept thinking to myself, if some shit happened to my wife and my daughter and I had to watch it, I might be on the same shit. I understood.
I get
Some of those people probably wouldn't even. They was probably still in law school when that shit trial went on. Because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's my guess. I feel what you were saying, Rachel, because I'm like, damn, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Sarah probably like shit.
Sarah worked there. She was working there.
Yeah, man. Like he said, you were part of the system, so you got to go.
So you got to go.
That shit wild.
Wild. Playing.
School, what's your next scene?
Nick and Kelly have the conversation about Denise, man, and how she's growing up, how that fighting crime shit is getting old, man. Like you missing recitals. You know, I know this crime and all this is important to you, but you got a family, brother.
So that's the dad in you right there.
Yeah, you got to check in. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And I'm sorry, Kelly told him, shout out to Regina Hall, that fighting crime thing, that she's just at that age where you still can get away with dad's a superhero and I'm saving the day. Like, but pretty soon she ain't gonna care about that because all she wants is a pop. So
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. We got anything else, Rachel? What else?
My last scene is obviously Nick actually setting the cell on fire and killing Clyde. So
I feel you on that. I got the whole last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Last 20 minutes flowed smooth.
Yep. And it was all believable.
Yep. All believable from the time he goes and they realize his, you know, he's been the one helping himself out. You know, he's dug himself into prison. Yep. He's with the Nomos uniform going into City Hall, them figuring that out. Them making sure that, you know, he doesn't have the bomb. And then, of course, the fate is in his hands. Like, if he made the right choice, he could have saved himself, but he didn't. All of that was tremendous. Like, the last 20 minutes was incredible.
Yes.
Even if it was a little bit, how'd you get from City Hall back to his cell? And movie wasn't made for that.
Don't be asking all the questions.
Be asking all the questions, man. Just enjoy it.
Eat that popcorn.
Yeah.
Shit, chill out.
I appreciate that. Did y'all have any other scenes besides those?
Nope.
That was my last one.
Perfectly. The last 20 minutes was it.
Y'all covered everything that I had written down, so we're good on scenes. Rachel, best quotes.
It's not what you know, but what you can prove in court. I already said it. It's the haves and have-nots in here. I don't want to be a have-not. I mean, it's the have-nots in here. I don't want to be a have. I feed you a couple legal precedents, and you jump on it like a bitch in heat. Lessons learned in blood are not soon forgotten.
That was a bar. Yep. That was a bar.
That's the only one I have written down. In my experience, lessons not learned in blood are soon forgotten. Man, that sums up everything.
So you pop niggas' hands off what you stole. Nigga, I bet you won't steal again.
I bet you won't.
That part.
Sometimes, hey,
that part.
For real. Like,
that's real, because you ain't gonna forget. You're gonna look right here and be like,
you're not gonna forget that shit. So sometimes
y'all parents used to say a hard head make a soft ass.
That's it.
Absolutely. You say you already said yours.
Yeah.
Only thing I really had, because you guys covered everything else, was, you know, the crazy one scared the shit out of me. I just happened to, because that's just real life. The crazy ones do scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Scene stealer.
I'm going first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I had two, man. But number one is Bruce McGill as Jonas Contrail. I think he stole the show. It goes back to what you were talking about earlier. Especially when he realized that he was next at a point. I think like he was crying and he said, "Do you think we deserve this?" And you know, Nick was absolutely not. This is all that bullshit, but it's too late because he I done did enough. Like, think about 20 years ago what I was doing, or 30 years ago when I was doing to get where you at, fool. Like, it's over for me.
I love that you just mentioned that because it is a real, you know, he's an older character and he's made his way through the ranks, and it's one of those weird moments where you don't want to die, but you start questioning the things you've done in your life, and you kind of had that the scary realization that maybe I deserve this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not innocent of any of this. I done did some foul shit. I done seen some bad stuff. I done made some families really hurt because of our decisions that we made.
Yes.
Prosecuting and not. And that aspect is just so interesting to me because, damn, maybe this is it.
Yeah.
Like we said, that was it.
So yeah,
what's your other one?
My other is Combe Meany. It's Detective Dunnigan. Like this movie, it was a certain point where I always feel like he was a bad guy. Like
you thought he was an
accomplice. Like, but every time he did it, he came through. I'm like, all right, okay. Like
they did a really good job of making you not being sure. Yep. Exactly. You knew there was a twist coming. You didn't know. Those are my two scene stealers as well. Exactly for the same reasons.
The guy.
I thought Colm did a thing like that. He played that perfect side cop where he's good. He's better at most in his job, but he's not smart enough to hang with Nick.
Yeah.
And it was just the perfect balance.
Yep.
So I love that. Those are my two. And it's crazy. I just want to mention this. It's crazy that a film with Regina Hall and Viola Davis in minor roles aren't my scene stealers. But love to see them, but I just wish they had more to do. Viola close though. Viola close. Yeah, Viola real close. Thing.
Okay, I had Viola.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand
I had Viola and Jonas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then. What we got? Things that bother you.
As a cook, working in the industry, he ordered his steak medium and they brought it to him medium rare. That bothered me. But other than that, nothing. This movie is it, man. I fucks with it.
Yeah, I didn't have anything.
Got one small thing. I'll say it a million times. This movie's not meant to be nitpicked. It's not meant to twirl the imagination. And you can't have a movie if this happens. But there's no way those intruders leave Clyde alive. Like in real life, he's going to. But like I said, no movie if that happens.
That's the only thing. To School's initial point was like, was this shit targeted? Because why is he alive?
Because Clyde did so much dirt, the way the CIA agent act, they probably should have linked that a little bit.
Was this a hired hit?
They could have thrown in one or two.
It'd have been a sequel, so maybe not.
I don't know. They could have thrown in a one or two liner about that.
Yeah,
connected. Yeah. So absolutely, there were no "come see about me" moments.
Not at all.
No cultural moments.
In fact, no don't come see about me.
No actors from The Wire. Wouldn't let that happen to me. I don't have anything. Only thing I would say is, and I don't have any children, but if I get a call that my daughter just saw that movie, like I'm not finishing shit up. I'm going home.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. I would have went straight home. Facts. But that's who Nick's character was. It's a character trait. That's why they put it in the movie. So I'm not tripping off of it. I just like to think that I wouldn't be that person. School, you got any trivia for us?
Ironically enough, in real life, Gerard Butler studied law and was close to being a lawyer before becoming an actor. That's amazing. In a clip I watched, Gerard Butler talked about that. You seen it?
If he would have taken the deal, him and Jamie Foxx were on unscripted.
Unscripted, yep. I watched it. Yep. Yeah, that was dope. Gerard Butler character used the line, "It's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court." It's the same line Denzel used in Training Day, minus the in court. I think that's all I have for real.
I got a couple things.
Go ahead.
So, director F. Gary Gray, he decided to use Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse as the restaurant that caters in Clyde's lunch because they dined there several times during filming. And when the restaurant was also the location of the film's after party after the premiere at the Philadelphia Film Festival. So
that shit was good.
It had a personal tie to the movie. There was a director cameo. F. Gary Gray, he handed Detective Garza, he's the one who said my line, the quote that I had. He handed Detective Garza the evidence after the execution scene. Frank Darabont, who directed Shawshank Redemption, wrote 100 million plus episodes of Walking Dead. He was originally slated to direct this film, but the talks fell apart and it ended pretty badly. The negotiations and just that overall relationship. The scene where Viola Davis, the mayor, is swearing in, where she's swearing in, Nick as the DA. That is the real mayor of Philly, Michael Nutter, holding the Bible in that scene. I already mentioned the NC-17 part. The security guards at City Hall, they greet Clyde as Nomos, which is the company name visible on the cleaner's overalls. But in Greek, Nomos means law relating to the idea of dispensing justice. In sociology, the concept of nomos refers to all of the normal rules people take for granted in their day-to-day activities. All of these meanings apply to Clyde's choices and actions. Once again, this movie is very smart for real. It's a vigilante action movie, but it's got a lot of little hidden messages.
Yeah, I like that.
I got another one for you. During the scene where Clyde shares his dinner with his cellmate, his iPod is playing Eminence Front by The Who. It's a song about people pretending to be something they're not, just as Clyde is both overall, pretending he's unable to escape, and specifically being nice to the cellmate right before killing him. So all of these things are intentional. Yeah. And that's all I have for trivia.
My bad. I have to say this. I did say something didn't bother me, but I lied. I hate the part that Jamie acts like he doesn't want to be the DA. And then when she tries to swear him in, he just right away just goes. Yeah. Like there was no pushback. No, I don't want it. Nothing. He went right. Yep, let's do it. Like,
that was a little murky because it went from I should fire you to I'll resign to nope, you get promoted.
You get promoted.
Like, what the fuck just happened? Man. But I get it. Yeah, I almost wrote that down too. And I'm like, let me not do that. So we're getting to the end of the episode where we rate this film too high, too low, just right. The average viewer of this film rates it 7.4 out of 10. Let me just say something for the record before you give your answers. 7.4 out of 10. The fact that this film, and I love Law Abiding Citizen, but the fact that it's got a higher rating than Ease by You blows my fucking mind.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And let me go back because I was bugging last week. I told y'all, man, I've been in a funk. I don't know how I gave Ease by You 7.7. That's an 8.1. So I'm going to go back and revise my rating. It's definitely an 8.1. The more I sat down, thought about it. And shout out to everybody for giving us a good feedback. People really love that Ease by You.
Yeah, they did.
Like, went out of their way to say, like, hey, y'all really did y'all thing with that one. So shout out to y'all too, and shout out to everybody listening.
Shout out to you.
But 7.4 out of 10. I'm going with I think it's just right. I'm
gonna stick with that. Just right.
Ray P.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay. Understood. Yeah. I get it, man. This movie it's hard to make these movies and make them interesting. Absolutely. They did things, like I said, this was fresh off of Taken. Yes. Movies like that where you kind of see all these little ploys and twists, and they really did their thing. And as we highlighted in this episode, a very smart movie. One that if you're just there for the action, you might even overlook how smart it is as far as the little things that go in there. So with that being said, I think we're ready to wrap up. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, to hit that subscribe button. Please leave a comment. Follow us on Instagram, The Culture Garden Podcast. As we mentioned at the top of this episode, we are very interactive. We love talking to y'all and getting y'all feedback and hearing ideas and movie suggestions. K-Rob just hit us and said, y'all, she played the soundtrack of Waiting to Excel. Say, y'all need to do this. I'm like, hey, if y'all only knew, we was almost doing it.
Yep. We gonna do it.
We'll get to all these movies. You know, we'll get to all of them. Trust me. Yes, so we appreciate y'all. Please follow us. Hit the link tree. Don't forget about We Got Y'all. We are doing Succession, wrapping that up. And like I said, Run the World on Stars is coming up soon. We'll be using that feed the rest of the year. So that'll be in rotation. We'll be back next week with episode 50. 50. And I'll have more to say about just the journey getting to 50 and, you know, how we started, you know, Ray P, obviously, the whole nine. So appreciate y'all. Ray P, school, love y'all. Appreciate y'all too.
All
right, everybody out there listening. Y'all be cool. Y'all be cool.
Peace.
Bye.
That's a wrap.